It's the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast.
Hello, this is episode 188 of the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast. I'm joined by the demigod of information, all the way from Leeds, although I won't hold that against him. It is Mr. Martin Fowler. Hello, Martin.
Hello, and how are you, my friend?
I'm fine. We've got some interesting things to talk about today. We have just watched the latest Doctor Who, which is certainly been an interesting one, and I want to talk to you about that. We've also had the new Acolyte, which I've not discussed with you about that, so what you think about that. And we're going to be reviewing the Morons From Outer Space, which is a good 80s comedy, which I rewatched over the weekend, and I actually enjoyed it, actually. But before we go into that, how are you? What's happening at your end? Anything interesting to report in London?
No.
Okay, that's the end of that sort of like a question.
Okay.
Have you not done anything this week? I mean, it's June. We should be, it's the best time of year.
I had the heating on 2 days ago.
Oh, it's been so cold.
Yeah, the sun briefly popped up this morning when I went to shop.
Oh, it's been shot.
When I was out yesterday, it briefly pissed it down and stopped.
Yeah, it has been really shit for June. It really has been shit for June.
And I've been in two minds that I put the heating on, but I think I'm all right.
I've resisted it, but I did think about it. I thought, oh god, no, I'll just put another layer of clothing on, kind of thing. But this is June. I mean, it's only about a week away from the longest day of the year. It's going to start getting shorter again soon. It's going to start getting bloody colder before you know it. Anyway, look, if it's solar flares or global warming, we're not aware the forecasters, but we don't like shit weather in the UK, do we?
No, we don't. But apparently there's meant to be 20 days of supreme weather on it for us. And
apparently the nice weather, because we've had some decent weekend weather, that's affected the Doctor Who ratings, of course, and it's all due to the sunny weather. You know that, don't you? It's not.
Are you sure about that? Are you after what I watched this week?
Right, hang on. Before we steer ourselves, I have got my look. This this week. I've got it. I'm wearing it. No. I'm wearing it. The tick. There we go. It's actually. I've sellotaped it to my T-shirt. I think that'd be funny.
I think we should get Doctor Who and the tick.
Doctor Who and god!
Next year's T-shirts. I think they should be the tick.
What about the TARDIS, the tick disc? No, I've got to think.
I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, all right. If you got any ideas, I'll Photoshop it and we'll do a T-shirt or something. Yeah, all right. All right then. So it is that time that I've been dreading since I watched this thing on Saturday.
Are we talking about this first thing?
We don't have to actually. Actually, maybe not.
I want to see him throbbing his things across the screen.
Oh, you saw the thing I made, the GIF, didn't you?
Well, as long as it's the back of you, I'm not bothered. It's not going on.
Yeah, I made this very interesting GIF, which I'll try and share in a minute. But actually, before we do that, how about the Acolyte? We obviously seen Star Wars, a brand new Star Wars has started. Have you seen the first 2 episodes yet?
I watched it last night.
Now, what did you think about it?
I watched both episodes together.
All right, I did as well.
To be honest, I didn't have a problem with it.
No.
I found it quite interesting. I know it's been panned about the boss chicks and all this and the worker, but I watched it with a clear head last night.
That's exactly what I did. I watched it before all the negative
reviews, so I thought I'll give it a go. And I found that when it finished, I wanted more. I was quite interested in it. I know it's new characters, it's another time, another place, but I got no issues with it at the moment.
I completely agree. I've heard that apparently the next episode is, quote, controversial. So whether we're going to be having, that's the thing. That's because that's got me worried again. I mean, it's like you're steering from one controversy to the next one. It's like, go on.
I mean, I read some of the reviews, not about the story, about it with all this like boss chick stuff and it with all this and it's the worker attic and well, I watched it last night and to be honest, a lot of people are saying that that's down to them. For me, I just sat and watched another extension of the Star Wars universe. I think they're doing a brave thing. They're starting with unknown characters. Oh, for fuck's sake, you're loading it up, aren't you?
I know, I'm trying to load up this thing I'm doing, but go on, you carry on chatting. Go on. I might not do it. I might just get rid of it. Actually, I'm not very good with this.
Put it on, I don't mind. You put it on. To be outside your house. You know what I mean? It's in your girlphone, not me.
Oh, I don't know how to share it. It's really funny. I've got to tell it. Oh no, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Carry on what you're saying about the and.
Why do you put it at the back as an image?
Oh, it's a GIF. Oh, maybe I could.
Yeah, you can do it. Just upload it to video.
Yeah. Well, carry on talking about this while I'll try and get the GIF up. Go on.
Oh, no, it's. I watched it with a clear mind. So far, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's new, it's different. It wasn't edge of the seat stuff. It wasn't like Mandalorian, but I thought interesting. It was the Sith Lord. Is it connected to the line of ascension with Plagueis and Sidious? Is it one of the Master and Apprentice line that goes to that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I heard from
because the Sith agenda is going on in the background. It will be Master and Apprentice.
I got a text from Malcolm, and he said he thought that the actual acting was pretty wooden and the dialogue wasn't very good. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, it was all right. I were annoyed to kill Carrie-Anne Moss off.
Yeah, in about 5 minutes. I thought that was weird. Yeah, I thought that was. I didn't see that.
She should have been the big star of this, I think.
Yeah, but they've said that apparently it's going to be a lot of flashbacks in the forthcoming. I'm not a big fan of flashbacks.
But we know the story, Joe.
And I think Carrie-Anne Moss is going to be back in a few episodes as flashbacks because she's been killed off. So, yeah. I found that surprising because I thought she'd be like the main character in the whole show.
Well, the story is there was a family on this planet. Something happened. There were 4 Jedi Knights there before there were Masters, and they either they got involved in the massacre or they didn't do anything about it. And that there's something because there were him that were meditating. He lived with guilt of it. He'd been in that weird state for years, and there were all this, and she said, "You've got a choice: admit your crimes or take the poison." So they're all complicit, and I think him as the other sister, the good one. I think her master at him. I think he's got something to do with it. He's lived with it, and the Jedi Council have covered whatever this is covered up. And they took one sister, the other sister survived, but they were both force sensitive. And the younger one, she was found by a Sith Lord, this Sith dude, who's kept his distance and his identity, and he's taught her the basics. And she's going to get rid of these Jedi Knights or whatever they've done something, and we're going to get into there's 2 sisters. It's one good, one evil.
That's right. Yeah.
And there's going to be some play out between the both of them, and there's gonna and that's where it is. You know, that's what I got so far with it. I don't know how it's going to finish, but it seems pretty. But there's nothing special about the backstory.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I mean,
it was nice to see. Is it 200 years before?
100 years.
Right. So if it's 100 years, the Sith dude, which I'm more interested in, he must be part of the line of the 2, the Master.
Although of course you remember from episode Phantom Menace, they said that there had been no contact with the direct Sith for 1,000 years.
Yeah, but they
were still around because obviously you had Darth Plagueis. There's a bit of a contradiction. there.
Yeah, so. Because when Darth Bane killed all the Sith, because all they ever did was just go to war with each other. But now and again they got the odd leader at unified, but they don't knock him off. He
Right,
killed
yeah,
them, and he created the what is it? The rule of two.
That's right. The rule of
So,
two. Yeah.
so what? Sidious in Empire's in his 70s, isn't he? He's so then there's Plagueis, isn't there? So I mean, I don't know how long his race lived for. So
No.
before Plagueis, there was Tenebris, who was his master. So is this dude gonna be the master? I don't know. Are they keeping that line? The Sith, they're involved in banking, politics. They've gone about it. They're working within the system instead of just going to war.
Yeah. So
They're
anyway,
doing events. That's how Sidious does it, and his master, the banking clan, the mech zone, and all these other
the one
parts,
thing
and manipulate them.
from my perspective, though, I'm not that knowledgeable about the High Republic era. You know, I obviously there's a lot of comics, there's a lot of, but you seem to know more than I do. I know most about the mainstream or the main live action films and TV shows.
Yeah.
I don't know much about ancient.
I'm only going by canon.
But you obviously
Took 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
There was two left, and then I never got the logic of the apprentice killing the master and then carrying. Why would you teach somebody to kill you down the line? I know it's
it's a weird way that they've done it. But that is obviously in canon. Yeah.
Gonna give my apprentice the ability to kill me. You wouldn't, but this is how it works about strength.
And that's not a new thing. That's a long-term thinking of the Sith.
Back.
Yes, that is absolutely right.
This is 100 years before.
Yeah.
I don't know. Plagueis, Sidious's master.
I think it'll be the one before Plagueis, won't it? It'll be Plagueis's.
I assume that's what I assume. Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know.
The Sith are manipulating things in the background. So like politics and cartels and crime and slowly.
So whatever's happening, I mean, like I said, I think that early on, it's eight episode season. I know it's always short again, but no, but it's all right. I'm happy with what they made so far. I think that, like I said, I'm a bit worried about episode 3. Oh, no. Well, there we go. That's your family entertainment, which we're going to talk about in a minute, isn't it? Marty's lost it. I made that this morning. It's good, isn't it? Yeah, I've shared it on YouTube. It's really good.
Did it go down on YouTube?
Some people are saying it's homophobic, it's woke, it's against Doctor Who. I said, no, it's not. It's not. That's not what. And I was saying to somebody, I was thinking, my kids now are 18 and 16, right? If this had been made 10 years ago when they were 8 and 6, I would have turned it off and not let them watch it again. After this episode, which we're going to go to very, very soon.
I mean, that's
the Doctor. That is the type. That is what we've been watching for 60 years. Him gyrating like something out of God knows what.
Well, I could come out with a counter argument to all this. I could.
It's up to you. It's yours. I mean, I don't mind. You can say whatever you fucking more like, mate.
But there is a generation now that are just not bothered about it.
No, this is not made for us. They basically the producers have told us to piss off, and it's aimed for a under 30 audience. But unfortunately, the problem is that no fucking person likes it. It's completely bombing.
That's true.
And I said bombing, by the way. I was very very careful that when I said bombing.
But
I didn't say anything else.
When I watched that and that popped up, I sat there and I thought, I bet over this great nation of ours, I bet there were coffee tables.
Oh, it's a big groan. It's like
yeah.
What the hell? R.I.P. Doctor Who. What the fuck have they done? Do you know what? Somebody said that, you know, the opening titles with the TARDIS, they apparently say that somebody says that it's a big purple alien's arsehole that the TARDIS flies up in the opening credits.
I saw the last 3 episodes. I've really enjoyed them.
Yeah, I have. We've been good. We've been good.
Yeah,
honestly,
they've been very good.
I said to you, do you know what? I had a. Do you know what? After I watched the episode of Saturday, I actually had a whiskey and coke. I was so upset, and then I gave you a rant message. Yeah, I thought, fucking hell, I actually had to have a drink.
I got your message.
Yeah, I was really upset.
I got you, man.
And I was like, and I'll never get like that. And I just thought, what? I just like, look, do you know what? Even my mum, the day after, she said, I've heard about Doctor Who, and she doesn't know, she hates to answer it. She said, Michael, I'm so sorry. She actually apologized. She actually felt sorry for me. She actually said, you know, I know how much you love the series. She said, I'm so sorry, Michael. I am so sorry. This is my mum. She heard about this because, I mean, obviously she's an older generation, but she was actually felt sorry for me that I've been like given the mid finger by the BBC about my character.
I watched this on iPlayer on Sunday.
Yeah. Right.
And after it finished, Torchwood, it recommended Torchwood.
No, well, I've never been a fan of Torchwood either.
I've not seen Torchwood in years. I watched pilot episodes. So
I never got into it.
And Captain Jackie's trying to get everybody into bed with it.
Yeah, well, I don't want to watch that.
But if it moves, they'll have it. But for some reason, it doesn't sort of bother you.
Yeah, I know. But it's a different series. It's not the same. Yeah, I know. I actually like John Barrowman. Captain Jackie's quite a good character.
You didn't find a problem with it.
No, I didn't mind him in Doctor Who at all.
And I watched this. I don't know. I want them covered. I just thought, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the crying. Don't get me started. I'm sick of it every fucking week.
It cries.
You know, and it was just. You know, when that guy, the knockoff version of Captain Jack,
Rogue,
and proposed to him in the middle of the thing, and he said, "Oh no, I can't," and ran off. And I was sat there going, "He's only met him half an hour ago." Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fucking hell's going on? And then got the end bit, and he said, "Find me." And they said "Oh well, you got to move on."
Oh, well, he's going to come back, isn't he?
About.
He's going to come back at some point, and then they're going to live happily ever after.
Well, she said, "Well, you're going to find him." I said, "Well, I ain't got a fucking clue." Universes. So it's like, well, and he moved on from him, and that was it.
Yeah.
So obviously, Rogue is going to come back.
Oh, we can all look forward to that, can't we? Well, look. Okay, I from what I understand, the ratings are really going down now because no. This is as far I reckon. Apparently, actually, let me just quickly open up Doctor Who TV, which is a very good website for the news on Doctor Who, and they're very fair. They're very impartial. They're not a site that they just give information, whether it's positive or negative in respect of the audience. Okay, so the UK ratings accumulator. So obviously, the lowest rated episode so far was episode 3, which I think was what was that one? I can't remember the actual name of the episode. I think it was I think it might have been.
Well, I won't be buying this service.
No, it was the landmine one. Boom. Boom was the one that only got 2.4 million, right? But after all the TV and screen and everything else added together, it's 3.58, right? This week's one has already had all the stuff put together. It got a higher rating. Yeah. It got 212, which is higher than 204, but all the all the actual figures put together, it only got 3.38, which is technically the lowest ever. That's the final figure, 3.38 million, right? And that was the week. Actually, that was the week before. This week's is slightly lower with 2.11. So it's looking like it's good. I mean, and I'm sorry. And also next weekend, apparently the football's starting again. So they're going to be this. I reckon. I'm really serious. I reckon that this time next week we'll be talking about ratings under 2 million, at least for the overnights. And apparently. There was also something else I read today as well, which it's a good time I've actually read all this just before I was speaking to you, but my fingers are too big to. There we go. Future. Oh yeah, Doctor Who's Future Beyond. Okay, so Russell T Davies has revealed that he is working on future scripts for Doctor Who, but the official status of the show beyond 2025 is in brackets still up in the air. Series 15 has already been filmed and is confirmed for a 2025 air date. Series 16 of Doctor Who has not been commissioned, but Davis is very confident it will go ahead. It won't go ahead. Right? Do you remember a year ago they were talking about all these new spin-offs that he wanted to get going from Badwall Studios? There was going to be a Sea Devil story. There was going to be all sorts of. That's all gone very, very quiet, isn't it? I wonder why. And apparently, what's it called? The Disney Plus ratings. It's not even hit the top 10 when the first episodes of Doctor Who come out. And don't forget, they're throwing a lot of money into this. And they pay for the second season 2025, the season 16, season 15. This is going to go down the toilet.
Yeah, but it's like you said, isn't it? It's like we've been fucked up.
I'm fed up with it. I really was starting to warm up.
Trying to appeal to the.
No, it's not happening. It's not. The first, like I said, those 3 episodes. The 3 episodes before, I thought they were pretty solid. Actually, I thought there were some clever ideas. And all right, I know I'm going off in one episode, but right. The Doctor is mostly an asexual alien entity who wants to explore and be good, right? We've had some romantic elements in the past. A lot of it's Russell T Davies. The TV movie from 1996 did have it with Grace as well, but I forgive that because that was a pilot for an American version of Doctor Who. It was interpreted. It wasn't a fully right. Russell T Davies has made it quite clear, and I know I'm getting upset about this. He has got all these agendas, right? Now, Doctor Who has never had an episode where he's just fallen in love with the character, and that was it. There are some elements which may have had indications of that direction. The Kylie Minogue one was a possibility one. The Girl in the Fireplace was another possible one. Both with David, they're both with David Tennant. But and of course we had the Rose thing, but the Rose thing was organic. That was over 2 or 3 years, and it was. I don't know if it was platonic. I don't know what it would have been, but it was a love, but it was a different kind of love.
They have, from the character we know, they have gone somewhere else.
Yeah.
I watched some clips this afternoon when I got in, and
Right.
it were like the Doctors. Somebody put out about 20 minutes, and I was doing sort of ironic background, and it was all the Doctors in defining moments.
Right.
And there was that popped up, the one with Capaldi and the 2 boxes.
Which one?
The 2 boxes with the song with the Zygons and Unit.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Go on.
He does that amazing speech about, and that speech. It's a classic speech.
Yeah.
And it's about war and who wins and where does it all. And he's in the middle, but the box just makes you both forget and you start again.
That's right. Yeah.
That type of writing is spectacular. That it stays with you. I mean, when I saw that, I remember that on Facebook, everybody was so touched by his speech. It was powerful.
He was such a good.
Like common sense had prevailed over 2 different points of view.
Yeah.
And we got that with Tennant. We got it with Matt Smith with the Pandorica. There were all these like amazing moments of where he really.
Although Whittaker never did have that, but I have to say that her era now is looking a lot better than the contemporary one. Seriously, I mean, I know it's a bit of a mess, but I would much rather be watching.
Whittaker did well in the.
It's just Chibnall ran it. If Chibnall hadn't run it, I think if it had been Stephen Moffat, maybe if he'd still carry on.
The best she ever got for me was the Christmas specials, the Flux and the others.
Yeah. And you like the New Year's Eve one you quite liked as well, didn't you? I wasn't that mad.
They were superb. And this series, it started bad. And then we got 3 amazing episodes, which I thought were very well written.
Yeah, it's not all been bad. It's not all been bad.
I saw this fucking thing.
But I mean, is it me? Because when I was upset,
I don't think it is because
I just thought...
I saw a friend on Monday, and he's something very similar to you, and he's the dedicated. Dude.
I almost switched it off. For the first time ever, I almost switched it off. The last time I thought, I can't stand this much more. And as for the Angry Birds bloody characters in the background as well, one of them looked like a fucking Angry Bird.
even the story for this.
The whole thing was
They
shit.
shoved. I mean, there was a massive agenda in this episode.
Oh yes, there was. Yeah, there was.
Let's be truthful. There was.
There was.
And so your party switches off, but then we got the story. A load of aliens that have turned up on Earth and want to cosplay and look like cheap, nasty bird fucking costumes, and
It was terrible.
and it was just the story was terrible.
I think it's one of the worst things I've ever seen in Doctor Who ever.
Yeah, no, Delta and the Bannerman is super.
I would watch that. I would rather watch that 100 times in 2 weeks, non-stop, and watch 5 minutes of this shit again. Absolute.
I just thought, well, you've written 3 amazing episodes, and then
but he didn't write this one. It was too. Apparently, one of the writers on this did the Loki. He wrote an episode of Loki. I think it was Loki, or she wrote 2 female. She wrote an episode of Loki. Apparently, it was a bad episode of Loki or something. So, but this should never have been commissioned as a written story for a Doctor Who episode. It should have failed in the early drafts.
Look, I'm all up for people are going to be people. They're going to do what they're going to do. So I accept most people. I don't have a. But my problem is when they start ramming it down your fucking throat, and when they're patronising to you. I found this very patronising.
If you were a parent now and you had 2 kids, aged 8 and 6, and they just watched the episode, you sat and watched Doctor Who, like I did with mine when they were that age, trying to encourage them to like science fiction and all the great stuff you get in it. Would you let them watch it again next week after this?
Probably not. Not about so I could. No. What I happening was it was something fucking else. I don't know what it was. It was like an episode of a fucking lame Disney series that failed. Yeah, it's what I Doctor. No, probably not.
No.
But if you look, I'm not bothered if like you write a story and you put in a gay relationship. No.
Actually, I was going to say this, right?
But when they started doing, they were shoving it in your fucking face.
I mean, I was going to say also that I wouldn't have been that happy even if it had been a female or a heterosexual relationship, because the Doctor, the way that the character went, it wasn't a natural example of the Doctor of how he acts or she acts with the female Doctor. It was the whole thing. It was just for the message. It was just to get Russell T Davies is basically, look, I'm going to say this right. He doesn't give a shit about Doctor Who anymore. He is just using this as a sounding board to get out all his messages and all his directives and all his philosophies in the world. He doesn't give a toss about Doctor Who anymore, and it's just like, I don't care about that. I just want to say, right, okay, I want the Doctor to kiss another man. I want all this, and it doesn't. And even if the story is shit, it doesn't flow with anything. It upsets. Well, maybe not upsets, but it's not good, is it?
Did it with Whittaker's character with
but that was done. That was more natural, right?
Yeah, well, it worked, didn't it?
Yes.
People got annoyed. But
I did. Do you know what? I didn't mind that. Yaz started to feel feelings for the Doctor, but the Doctor, as a more of a characteristic of the Doctor, said, "Look, I could be your friend, but I can't be anything else. I care about you, but not." I like that. I've got not a problem with that at all. Not a problem with that at all. I thought that was a good, realistic thing. It also it showed inclusion of obviously. The fact that obviously Yaz is a female, but she's attracted to another female character.
This also goes
that was fine. That was fine.
This also goes against what the Doctor said under David Tennant when Rose, like over at Martha, said we're hoping for like a bit more with him.
Yes.
And he said
at the time he said he couldn't do it.
He said, "You get old, I just go on."
Yeah, and that's another factor.
Basically, it's going to come a point where I'm going to have to dump you because
old Doctor 15, old Shooty. Let's go there. Okay. Literally gyrating 5 minutes after they met, and like, by the way, I'm going to carry on going, but it's all right. We'll keep gyrating until you die of old age or something. I don't know.
I think I'm pretty progressive, and I'm proud. I'm open-minded, you know.
Yeah, but you've got to be in science
But
fiction.
it's that. Yeah, I think you have. But it's like the thing is, my mate said to me on Monday when I met him. He said, "The thing is," I said, "Well, what about Captain Jack?" He said it works with him because
Yeah, it does work.
he
with him.
come from.
It does work with him.
And
Yeah.
there were no genders in the 50th century. Everybody's just whatever. And that's the way, that's evolution. It's the way it all moves forward. That's 5,000 years in the future. It works with him. But this, for some reason, on Saturday, just did not work.
No, I know.
It didn't work. I think I can see why people got fucked off with it. You know, and if people come out and try and defend it, then your answer is, then why did it get shit ratings? Do you know what I mean? Because people can say, oh, well, you know, you're coming out with this and you're like that. Yeah, I'm not like that. Because public opinion is saying, why are the ratings shit? You know, you probably, a lot of progressive people watched that and thought, what the fuck am I watching now? If they'd gone about it in a more intelligent, meaningful fucking way, it might have worked.
But it was just a complete...
But the other downside of this is the fucking story. The story was terrible.
And don't forget, it's a short season. It's only 8 episodes a season. That's a bigger chunk of the season.
Even if you go into the ticks of it all, right? Because there were other things in there. There was a load of other things in there.
What else did you spot then? Well, okay, what else did you spot then?
Well, there was a thing about the EU, wasn't there, about Spanish and French and all that. You know, when they sort of brought all that up. What they didn't there? I know you got it in, didn't they? You know, which I'm not going to go into my political beliefs on it.
No, that's fine, that's fine.
They brought that in, then shoved him in, shoving it all over the TV screen and fucking rest of it. And then the story, which is meant to carry the episode, was a complete abysmal failure.
Yeah,
I'm more disappointed. It's not about all the ticking, but the annoying thing in all this, the writing and the story were fucking awful. And then the rest
atrocious.
It's like just poured fire on it. And if anybody says, "Oh, well, you're coming out with that and all this," well, you're just going to have to say, "Well, look at
fuck off." You know,
70 million people live in this country, and everybody switched off. And
No,
it's like he's actually trying to purposely to self-destruct Doctor Who.
Well, it's like Rishi Sunak and the Tory party. He's just sabotaging.
Oh yeah, he's another way he shut through the window. Let's just say. Why are people? Yeah, I mean, it's like somebody said about the idiot prime minister we've got. Like, why is this man sabotaging everything he touches falls apart? It's an interesting parallel.
It's an interesting parallel. They're both like fucking. They're just destroying themselves. Why?
So then you get Russell T Davies, who comes back and says, "I'm going to fucking bring it back." We have
fuck it up.
Yeah, the faith with thinking, well, he made some beautiful episodes back in the day, and he did. And first episode was shit. The Christmas special was shit. Except one of them.
Singing Gremlins, yeah.
And then we had three marvelous episodes.
Yeah.
And then we got that, and that has just sunk. That one episode's probably sunk this entire series.
I really, I mean, obviously we're approaching the 2-part series finale already. Season finale next week and the week after.
We have.
I don't know. I do not know.
Well, we're gonna have to finish this. Hey, I'm gonna know. When they changed him into a woman, it did not.
Hang a minute. Give me a sec, Martin, because the Skype's just Zoom is playing up. Just wait for it to catch up.
It works.
Hang a minute. Right, say that again. Sorry, I think it's my end. Do you want to just repeat?
I'm saying when they changed the Doctor into Jodie Whittaker, we defended that. We stuck with it.
Yeah, oh yeah. I wouldn't stick with this now. No, I mean,
No,
it's
I
like,
won't. No, not.
no, not now. No, this to me now has got to the point where
But
it's so low.
If anybody says, if anybody says,
Also, right, Doctor Who used to be something which was everyone was like really. It was like the crown jewel of BBC and everything. Do you know what? Now, if I used to be embarrassed about liking Doctor Who, then it was very mainstream in the UK. Now I'm embarrassed again. It's just an embarrassment.
well, to be honest, Doctor Who's more than that. It's the British crown jewel of science fiction in this country.
Yeah, but now it's turned into a complete farce.
I know we've had some great science fiction writers out of this country, but the one greatest television franchise that's known globally across this planet for standing its own unique insanity in the writing
yes,
and the batshit stories and the rest of it is Doctor Who. And after what I saw on Saturday, they just shoved it in fucking toilet for me.
Yeah.
And it was bad, and it was just. And I sat there and I was watching, and I'm not what, and I can't. And this crying business as well. What the fuck is that about?
I have no idea. Like I said, we're going to pause now for the main review because the Zoom is nearly cut out. But yeah, it was out of 10. What would you rate this episode of Doctor Who? I know what I'm going to rate it.
One.
I'm going to rate it as 0. It's a 0.
One, and that's because it's Doctor Who.
No. This is anti-Doctor Who.
I don't fuck it. I'm gonna go 0 because
0 for me.
Fuck it. It's not, because what they did on Saturday, they just shit all over a 60-year franchise.
Yeah, I know.
And if what season 2's gonna be, if this season 2's gonna be like that, I'm fucking out, man. I'm out.
Yeah. Now, someone's at my doorbell, so I'm going to just finish up. So we're going to now go into our focus of the week. We'll be right back.
It's the
Solar Sci-Fi
focus of the week.
Right, and we're back. We have actually just been talking a bit before we've hit record again for Morons, a bit more talk about Doctor Who. And we've had some quite energetic conversations, but you've already heard a lot of it, and we can't go on about this forever. So we've already said what we feel, and it's not too good. But I digress. We are now going back to an earlier decade, a decade where a film could be funny, a person could be just doing something and not offending somebody for the way their hair cut or what they're wearing or everything else. We are talking about a British film, and it's got quite a few famous comedy actors in it. It's even got an actor who played the captain of the USS Excelsior from Star Trek 3, which I was very surprised to see, and I didn't know that he was in it. And we are talking, of course, about Morons from Outer Space, which is a film that came out. What's that, Martin? Go on.
The Star Trek 3 actor, Captain Stanley, is he English?
Yes. Oh, no, he's not English, but he played American. No, he was in...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I saw him in it, and I thought, hang on, that's Captain Stiles, and I checked, it is him. And I just thought it was great. It's really cool to see him. I like this film. I think it's quite a fun film. I've not seen it for a long time, but I gave it a rewatch over the weekend. Malcolm, I asked to check it out, and he said he watched 15 minutes of it, and he said, no, it just didn't click with him. Which is fair enough. You know, it's not for everybody. I liked it. I thought it was quite a fun film. So while I'm getting some more information about it, tell me what you thought about it, Martin.
I love this film. It didn't do that well at the cinema, and it vanished.
Yes. It's not been released on Blu-ray or anything either. It's only on DVD.
A lot of people have not seen this film. I know one or two have caught it on VHS. I saw it on VHS, and I bought a couple. I remember I bought it from Woolies, and I couldn't stop watching it. I think it's fucking hilarious. It makes the human race look so fucking stupid, because the universe outside Earth is just as stupid as life on Earth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they bring this like cosmic splendor down to, basically, to me, it could be an extension of Hitchhiker's Galaxy.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that fitting in, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a similar.
when they crashed the ship and they took it to the secret military base with all the scientists and the bigwigs and the generals and they want to go inside and they're all listening and it's Oz giving his wife one. And he's in the past. And it's like first contact between the species.
Yes.
I mean, you just get like, well, they're just fucking idiots. You can find them anywhere on Earth.
But I mean, obviously they're from the planet Blob, okay, and it was only for. Now it's funny because obviously I did watch this back in the 80s, but I only got into Our Be the Same Pet probably about mid to late 90s, and so it's rewatching it again. I don't think I've seen it since got into Our Be the Same Pet. Jimmy Nail's in it as an alien, but he's not an alien. He's a Newcastle. He's just. I mean, what I like about this is that they speak English. They've all got accents. All their languages are English. They are like just Brits on a spaceship, and it's never explained. They never sort of. All we know, the only thing we know about them is wherever they come from. It's like the UK, but it's called Blob. And I like the fact that Mel Smith's character gets separated. He tries. He's in Arizona. He's in America, and he's trying to get back to them, and he's talking to wheelie bins and things. And I just thought, you know, I'm a big fan of Alas Smith and Jones as well. I've always liked Mel Smith and Griffith Jones. I think they're a very good duo, and I like the stuff that they've done. So I'm surprised this film's not bigger. I'm surprised it's not. On Blu-ray. I mean, I saw a DVD copy of it. It was all right, but I'd love to get an HD. It's a really good film. I really enjoyed it.
And
it's really funny.
On YouTube, but it's a bad copy.
Yeah, exactly. It's never been upgraded to HD, which is one I'd want to have a Blu-ray of. I love the song that she sings as well. If I go beep 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 beep, but I love you, whatever it is. It's just funny. I just love it.
It's having a go at a lot of stuff, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's having a go at British society and yeah,
like, you know, and really, they're wondering what the fuck's going on.
And I love the way crashes on the motorway. It's going on the motorway. It's skidding on the motorway.
Pickup service.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like pushing.
Pickup service, yeah.
Yeah,
and it's like sound ridiculous. We are, but then he gets stuck on planet, and I like him because we all know people like him.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
We all know people,
and he's very like Oz though. He's very like Oz from Our Be the Same Pet, except he's on the spaceship.
But
you know,
is it Mel Smith's character?
One in America.
They fuck him off to have had enough of him, haven't they?
Yeah, they just. I mean, they tour. And they go to America, and Mel Smith's character, Bernard, finds them, and then they sort of disown him. They just sort of like, oh no, it's okay. Well, they sort of like, they just, yeah, exactly, yeah. And it's like, yeah, I just thought it was a really fun film. I mean, let me get.
I can't understand why this film has not got a cult following.
I don't know. I mean,
I really can't understand how it's so like.
I mean, when I was talking to Malcolm, he said that science fiction and comedy don't work that well in many things. Obviously, the prime example of the best work is Red Dwarf, which we love. You can't. And like, remember the Spaceballs? I didn't mind that. I thought it was all right. I don't think I prefer this to Spaceballs.
Yeah, I do.
I prefer this to Spaceballs. I think this is funnier. Dark Star is another one I can think of, which is a weird sort of. I think that's John Carpenter. No, we've got to do that in the future. Dark Star. I know it's a very cheap production, but it's. I remember this ball. I remember the ball jumping up. It was a ball like a beach ball jumping up and down and stuff like that. Yeah, it was a weird film, but I'm not. I've not seen that for a long time.
Again, Morons From Outer Space. You could connect that to Darkstar.
Yeah, it could be related to that. They've got a similar chemistry.
We're getting a line now. These sort of films. Hitchhiker's
Going to the Galaxy. Yeah.
What was the film we were on about?
Morons, you mean?
Not Morons, the other one.
Darkstar.
Darkstar. They're all quite similar. Space Truckers as well with Dennis Hopper. That's insane.
Oh.
seen that in theatre, but
Oh
that is-
God, I want to see that. I don't. Do you know? It's familiar. I like Dennis Hopper. I don't know if I've ever
Red
seen
Dwarf
Space
as well.
Truckers.
You can connect Red Dwarf to all this. All this.
They've got a
will be-
similar vibe to all of them. Those sort of like lower class people, sort of like bum. Obviously,
they're out
Lister.
there in the universe,
I mean,
wandering about.
Lister would fit in very well with the people in Morons.
Well,
And
Lister,
also-
imagine Lister if you want on
With
the
Jimmy
road,
Nell. Yeah, with Jimmy
if
Nell.
you're on
And,
that, if
yeah.
with Jimmy Nell, yeah.
and again with Darkstar, with the crew of
And
the
you could
Darkstar.
see Alan Rimmer on that ship with them
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, he's more like the Mel Smith character.
Somewhere they just fuck him up and get rid of him.
Yeah, like Mel Smith's
It's
character.
very
Yes.
similar. It's like you've got the high class comedy and all this, and then suddenly you get like where they put the normal people out in space and they're clueless about, oh, we'll just go there.
Yeah.
And there's no consequences. And now even robots pretty batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Another one, Ice Pirates. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, I'm up for all. I love comedy and I love science fiction. Yeah.
Make normal type people that don't have a clue how to fly a spaceship, but they're doing it,
Yeah.
and they're out. And I like that. I
Yeah.
think the humour in that alone is worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But it's funny. I mean, I wonder whether Darkstar was the influence for Morons in outer space.
I think Hitchhiker's
Because
Guide
Dark. Oh yeah. I wonder if Hitchhiker. I
that
think
was
that
before Morons, yeah.
this was done in '85. So obviously Hitchhikers was done in late '70s. I think it was the TV show was. But no, the BBC adaptation was in
The
'81.
radio, that was
But the radio's before that, so I think that it was late '70s was Hitchhikers.
TV
Dark
show, yeah.
Dark Star was what, mid '70s, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was his first film, though.
So I think that maybe when I think Griff Rhys Jones and Mel Smith co-wrote it with other people, they must have been influenced by some of these other things we've been mentioning. I think that must have been a catalyst.
I think so. But I
So-
can't understand why Morons got. I know it's bonkers.
That's why I'm going to ask you. Why do you think it didn't do very well? Because I think it's quite a solid film.
I could imagine back then it would have been like a highly intellectual student type, rugby type audience that would have been in there.
But do you
know,
think
that-
also?
Hey,
Do you think also?
it is one of them type of films.
But
You know, Alex Cox, you remember him, movie?
Alex Scott's movie drone, yeah.
I could see him covering Morons from Outer Space.
But do you think that also science fiction back then was more of a niche kind of thing? So maybe it was it. That might have been actually what put people off. Oh, it's a space thing. I don't want to see that.
It might have been because it was a science fiction comedy. It was sort of beyond its time as well.
So
If there was any science fiction comedy, it was probably made for TV.
I was wondering. I mean, I was going to say
Morons, want a cheap film.
if Red Dwarf had been started by that point, I wonder whether people, if they made this, say, rather than '85, they made it in 1992 or something. I wonder whether it had been more successful.
Because when Morons come out, they want a lot. So you remember in '80s there were a bit of a
There was
time.
nothing. All we had UK science fiction was the Tripods, which was destroyed, cancelled by Michael Grade. Space Cops was one. Obviously Doctor Who, and we know what happened with that. Also with Michael Grade. There's not a lot of '80s
I
science
think-
fiction UK.
I think by '92, Star Trek was growing, and
Oh yeah, it was Star Trek was quite big by then. Yeah.
Doctor Who had its pilot episode later on. I think if Morons had been made in between, I'd say '92 and now,
I think it would have been a lot better. I mean,
especially off the back of Red Dwarf.
I think it was ahead of its time.
Yeah,
I think it was ahead of its time.
Because it was on at the ABC in Leeds, and I remember the trailer. When I saw, I thought I'm going to go see that, but when I went to see it, it'd gone. It were only out for a week or so. So when I got the time to go see it, it'd gone.
So I wonder if it had an international release, whether it was actually released in the States or
I
whatever.
don't know, but I know it bombed badly. I know they put the money into it. It's not a cheap film.
No, it looks good. It's funny. It's it's got a lot of famous people in it. So
I don't know on the international market. It was a very British film.
yeah, that's true. It might have been actually only
Very
really, sort of like palatable by a British audience rather than say American.
I can imagine the audience like students at the time, or people who were stoneheads and all that. I could see him watching that, and this is fucking insane, you know. But it just didn't. It vanished. When people I knew had seen it, it was on VHS, and I've never seen it on TV.
I think I must have seen it on TV at one point because I saw it. Unless I rented it out on video when I was really like in the 80s. I don't know. I know that obviously I'd seen it a long time ago. I didn't remember it that well. I did remember I liked it, but I rewatched it a while back, and obviously rewatched it for today's review, which I'm really glad I did. And I think that watching it this time round was the best. I just thought, yeah, this is really quite good.
It's a great film. It's a great film. I'd love an HD copy, but you're not going to get it though.
No. I mean, obviously they did.
I think it might have got some money back on VHS, but if it's out on DVD,
it's out on DVD, but that's as far as it's gone, and it's a shame.
I might have to purchase it if it's on DVD.
Yeah, I would. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's
the copy I watched over the weekend was on YouTube, and that it was all right. But
I've got a copy. My copy's all right. My copy's it's a DVD quality one. It's pretty good. I what I would like to have seen was just see it in HD. In proper 20p.
I think the scene at Wembley with a big ship, which I'm sure they're bothered.
Oh yeah, and the alien ship at the end when they get rescued, and then the UFO. It looked good though. I just like even some of the special effects. And they ripped off Close Encounters with the alien.
Oh yeah, totally.
That was great. I loved it. It was good.
I know we got the whole thing, but again, the mystery is the comedy talent in that film. You've got comedy actors of the time,
and they all did a great job. You know,
his partner, he's in it. You've got Oz and all the other cast members. They were all big stars in this.
The guy was in Watching, wasn't he? I can't remember the actor's name. Yeah,
very high class talent.
Yeah,
and Mel Smith.
Griff Rhys Jones.
They were biggest.
They were huge back then. They were huge. Of course.
Yeah. And but I don't know. That should have been. But then again, at that time they were like, you remember Cannon and Ball? They had a film, didn't they?
Oh God, were they policemen or something?
Yeah.
What was it called, that film?
I forgot that. It was like a police thing.
I know there were police that had a white Metro or something. I also vaguely remember about it.
And there were a couple of movies where, like, British comedian, like a double act, they had films.
Dick Emery and things like that. They had
a lot of them went under the radar, but that did quite. But Mel and Smith, they should have done quite well in this country, but it never took off. I think because it was a lot of people probably sat there going, "What the fuck is this about?" We get it. We get it because we've been.
We're in that environment. We're familiar with that environment. Yeah.
Yes. It's ingrained in us. I'm not saying we have a perspective, but it's an unusual one. It's the Morons. It really is.
Yeah.
Because it's not a cheap film. I mean, the special effects are on par.
Yeah.
The model work, the acting, it costs money, but they must have gone under. The company that made that must have gone under.
Well, that's a shame. It's a shame.
And there ain't much information about it either.
No, I mean, this is what I've been doing. I've been hunting for information while we've been talking, and it obviously gives the. Let's actually have a look. Reception. Here we go. Right. Okay. The film had received generally negative reviews, and holds a rating of 4.5 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database. The Observer called the film so embarrassingly unfunny, I often felt like crawling under my seat. Empire criticised its loose scripts, whose weaknesses are all the more glaring for the film's inability to exploit the power of absurdity. Mike Hodges disliked the film, regarding it as a misfire. He clashed with Smith and Jones in post-production in an article claiming they did not trust or perhaps understand his comedic judgment or cinematic visual satire, and the film became far more broad than he had intended. However, he did enjoy the satirizing and the sentimental Spielbergian version of the world. The film performed moderately in the box office in the UK. And only earned $17,000 in the US. Fucking hell.
That is bad. What was the budget?
That's a good question. I don't know what the budget is. Doesn't say. It just says it's just the reception. Let me have a look. Oh no, production.
Yeah, it doesn't say how much it actually cost to make, which is a bit annoying. But that's $17,000 in total for the whole of America.
That's what they've even paid for
That's
the network.
terrible. That wouldn't even pay for the electricity to power the cinemas.
No, it won't. It won't. That'd been half an hour of production at movie.
Jesus Christ! I've never seen anything as low as that. I
So
mean,
British. It was so British. That what probably.
well,
was so
it
British.
can't have been featured in many cinemas in America. America's such a huge country. It can't have been.
Well, it had a big trailer release, and I remember it in ABC. That you know, but I was
No, this is obviously predominantly a British thing, but that is terrible. Hello, Martin. Look, we've only got 4 minutes back on the infamous Zoom limit, so let's put this one to bed. First of all, is it one you'd have on your DVD shelf, which I think you've already answered?
Yes, I'd have it in the collection, definitely.
And I would too. My second question is, what would you rate it out of 10?
I'm gonna. Well, after.
There's going to be a high one after the Doctor Who thing.
I'm gonna book it. I'm gonna go for an 8 on this.
I'm going to give it 8.5.
That is fucking generous.
I love it. I thought it was really good fun. I loved it. I'm
It
sad
says
that...
from where what half an hour ago.
Yeah, so
that-
from rating of
I feel a
0,
lot better.
we bounced from 0 to 8.5.
Yeah.
There we go. You see, I said my son is ball. You see, I'm bouncing all over the bloody place. Marty, that's fantastic. I really enjoyed that one. Like I said, it's not liked by everybody. I know Malcolm was a bit underwhelmed with it, but that's fair enough.
Is he back next week? Hello,
I
Malcolm.
mentioned
All right,
Superman, so hopefully he is.
Okay.
He'll let me know. Obviously, we can't guarantee it depending on what he's doing, but it'd be great to have him back. So before I don't know if I've mentioned them already, but I want to give a shout out to a new group of people on YouTube who do some great live reviews, and they're talking a lot about Doctor Who, and they're called the Sense Sphere. They are on YouTube, and the guy who runs it is very knowledgeable about Doctor Who. I like the fact that they're quite openly negative about the way the Doctor Who's going. Which,
Get 'em on.
yeah, I mean, I've only just started getting in touch with them, but yeah, I mean, hopefully, in some point we could do something with them, or I could do something with maybe pop on their live streams and stuff, because I just like the way they seem to be thinking about stuff. And I always sort of like I said, we get people on your wavelength, and that's always good. All right, so next week we're going to review Superman, which will be a good one.
I sent you one of them before we go.
Sure, go on. Yeah, go.
One of them AI videos, David Bowie's Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. It was a.
And, you know, in all the years, and I've thought about David Bowie being Doctor Who, he would have been fucking amazing.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I want to say.
I mean, we won't share it because I think it's music and stuff, and then we'll get clobbered for that. But yeah, I could see David Bowie as Doctor Who. Yeah, definitely.
Never thought about it, but in front all along.
Mind you, anybody at the moment would be better than a contemporary one, the current one, wouldn't they? I mean, Mrs. Mangle on Neighbours would be better than the current Doctor Who, for fuck's sake. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well,
I mean,
we have to stick it out till the end now.
oh. Okay, don't forget, when you see those opening titles in the future with that TARDIS, when it's flying, you're going to be thinking about that for the rest of your life now, aren't you? You see, that is my gift to you today, Martin, and for the world.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you very much. We are back next week on the Solar One Sci-Fi podcast. Live long and prosper. Good luck with Doctor Who next week.